Hey guys, this is another helping video. These are pretty difficult problems, so I'm going to guide you through these a little bit more in depth. Let me just zoom in for options. Okay. All right, here we go. So the first problem, what is the total area of the field to the nearest whole square yard? Okay, so it's not including the tracks. What that means is this here, this field. Okay, now one thing you'll notice is there's a semicircle here, half of a circle, and then there's another half circle here. And if we put those two halves of circle together, oh, that was bad, we'll get a full circle. So basically the field is just one circle and then the rectangle. Now, this distance here is 50 yards. So of this circle, the radius is going to be half of that, 50. So it's going to be 25. Now you can use pi r squared to help you solve for the area of that circle. And this rectangle here is going to be 50 times 100. And then you can add that to the circle, which is pi r squared. Okay, there's a little help there. Next one, problem 2, definitely the one of the trickier ones. A 2-meter deck surrounds a swimming pool as shown below. What is the approximate surface area of the pool? So the pool here, nice blue, is this right here. We know that this is 12 meters. It makes it a little bit harder to see. Okay, so it's this rectangle and then the half circle. So let's go ahead and try to solve for the half circle first. So the half circle, remember, you need to divide it by 2. Up here, we didn't need to divide by 2 because it's 2 of the halves. Here, it's just half, so I am going to need to divide by 2. So the radius is going to be 6. The reason why is because the entire thing is 12. And half of 12 is 6. So the radius is going to be 6. For that, you can use pi r squared, and then don't forget to divide by 2 at the end. Now we need to know, so we know that the width of the pool is 12. Now we need to know the length, this distance here. A little bit more complicated. If I know that the full thing is 18, I'm trying to figure out this. I won't say that's x. So I know that the 2-meter wide deck, so everything on the deck is 2 meters, so this is 2 meters. This is 2 meters as well. Now I just need to know this distance right here. Because if I line all these up here, if I just bring this 2 meters over here, so this is 2 meters. I'll actually probably bring it over here. So this part's 2 meters. This part's 2 meters. That looks like 12. I was just making a line here for that distance. I need to know this part, and I know what this is. This part here is the radius of the circle. So this part here is 6. So from here to the end of the pool is 2 meters. From here to this part is 6. From here to here is 2, and this is x. All of these, when added up, must be 18. 2 plus 6 plus another 2 is going to be 10. And therefore, this must be, because it needs to all be 18, this must be 8. So now I have 12 and 8, and I'll multiply those together and then add it to the semicircle, and then you'll have your area. Okay, I'm going to briefly go through the next ones. Divide this into these shapes here. Don't forget that this trapezoid, this whole length is 5 plus 1. There's a trapezoid, and you can use this formula. The bases, this is base 1 and this is base 2 times the height. Okay, and then this is 8 times 9 here. The height, I know that this is 2. This is 9. So up to here is 9. And the whole thing must be 12. So the height of the trapezoid is going to be 3. For this shape, we can divide it several different ways. I think the best way is probably doing this way. So I have a trapezoid here, base 1, base 2, it's 12 centimeters, 1/2 b1 plus b2 times height. And then this here is just a rectangle, length times width. The height here is 8, the distance between the two bases. Okay, next problem. Okay, let me just see how I'm doing on time. Okay, good, 5 minutes. Okay, what is the approximate area of the quarter circle that was cut from the paper? So if I were to continue this circle here like this, the diameter is 20. Half of it, this radius, is 10 centimeters. And I just need to do pi r squared divided by, because it's a quarter of the circle, divided by 4. For this one, here's a triangle. So this one here is going to be base times height divided by 2. Here, this is a parallelogram. So you can do, this is just going to be base times height. So the 4 times the 3. That's all you need for parallelograms. And then this triangle is identical to this one. So solve for the area of the one triangle, and then it's the same thing as this. So you can add these together, take this, multiply it by 2 to get both areas. Next one, what is the area of the figure shown below? You want to divide this into several different shapes. I think one way you could do it is something like this here. Yes, you could do it like this. Okay, so now we have a trapezoid, which is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. And we have a rectangle here. So this rectangle is just 6 yards squared. 2 times 3. Okay. So the hard part is figuring out this. Base 1 we can have as this part. That's 5 plus, don't forget this part right here, which is the same thing as this, 2. So this can be 7. Now here's base 2. Base 2 is 9. The last part that we need to figure out is the height, this distance here, which is a little complicated. If I know that this whole distance is 5 yards, that's what this tells me, and this part right here, if I extend it all the way over here, is 3 yards, then I need to solve for x. This plus this will give me 5, so this must be 2 yards. So the height is going to be 2. Take the area of the trapezoid and then add it to the area of this rectangle right here, which was 6. Last problem. A square is attached to a semicircle to make a figure in the diagram shown below. If the radius of the circle is 4 meters, what is the approximate area of the figure? Okay, so for this circle, it's a semicircle, do pi r squared divided by 2. For this here, it's length times width for squares. But now notice that the 4 is just half of it. So if we want the length of a full side, it's going to be another 4 here. So each side is going to be 8. So it's going to be 8. I never can draw 8s. 8 times 8 for the square. Okay, all right, this was a longer video, much more difficult problems, but good luck, everyone.